This is full squad.
Roll.
You. Oh. Jump. Arm. Me.
This is full squat. The Admiral room is he's out. This message. Sure.
Gearbox, let's do this. Punch that signal through that interference and let's get this potty started. Ooh, doggy. All right. Hey there. Welcome back to another Rebel Rant House of G. And yeah, it has been quite the week. Let me tell you, over the last week or so, the last weekend and everything, man, things have been crazy. If you don't already know this, oh my goodness. So not only is this a Monday, this is the Monday event to end all Mondays at this point. So, well, let's go ahead and just kind of chill out for a bit. Yeah, let's just forget about all that stuff going on right now. Oh my goodness. No matter how bad things get, you got to take a moment to, well, remember the good things in life. Remember the things worth fighting for, the things worth living for. Doesn't matter how bad things get. So let's make that the point of this House of G today. And yeah, let's just try to have a little bit of fun here. So yeah. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, new to the stream, this particular format is just about relaxing, having fun, enjoying some geekdom, making some comparisons, commentary, contrast between modern pop culture and a little bit older pop culture, let's say. Let's just put it that way. Leave it there. So and let's see here. Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. I've got a stack of comic books I've been going through that need to be bagged and boarded. I've lived a semi-nomadic life. For a pretty large percentage of my life, actually. So now that I actually thinking about it, so it's been difficult to maintain a collection of any sorts, let alone comic books. And by some miracle, I still have my collection. Just a rough guesstimate off the top of my head, I'm thinking I have over 600, 700 comic books minimum in my collection, and that includes that stack. It's kind of a miracle that, number one, I still have my collection. Number two, it says in as good a condition as it is. So quite grateful for that. It's been a lot of fun going through these issues, just reliving some of the glory days there. After 20, 30 years, being able to make that comparison with that hindsight vision and everything, it's been something, let me tell you. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. So yeah, in order to get these comic books taken care of, the stack here, well, I had to buy some new bags, new boards, and some new boxes. And I came across the company VCW. This is not a paid sponsorship. And well, they had some pretty interesting stuff, let me tell you. Let's start with this one here. This is my comic book box that I'm currently using. And as you can see here, Transformers. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that brings back some childhood memories right there, let me tell you. Boom, shakalaka. On the side here, we got Optimus Prime there with the Sparkle Life. And yeah, that is just some cool stuff right there. But it doesn't end there. So then if you take a look at the lid here, Autobots, roll out. Optimus Prime's kicking the butt of one Megatron. That is some freaking cool stuff right there. Let me tell you, Optimus Prime has always been my favorite, so it is really gratifying to see him cleaning the clock of that sinister and deceptive Megatron. Boom chakalaka. Yeah, so those Autobots there are going to do a good job of protecting my comic books. Let me tell you. Stay. Okay, that's better. So yeah, it's my comic books are pretty safe at the moment, so I haven't been in a rush. It's been a lot of fun doing it like this in this format, and definitely making some progress there. This first box is starting to get full. I got a second one waiting to be filled. Yeah, I'm thinking I should be able to get into that second box here before I get up through this entire stack. It's a lot of fun, let me tell you. Just doing this is reminding me of why I got into comic books in the first place. Yeah, see how got my bags here. There you go. Comic book bags. I got a bunch of boards to go with it. Still a pretty solid stack. I don't want to pick that up because that'll probably just end up spilling all over the place. And yeah, these are modern bags and boards, but you'd be surprised. most of the stack here is from about 20 years ago, and they're a tiny bit too big for these bags and boards. I mean, they fit, but you want the board to be, you know, just a tiny bit wider than the comic book. But it's more often than not with these, the comic book is just tiny bit wider than the board. Not anticipating any problems. Would be preferable if it was, you know, a little bit more the other way around. But it's just it's a little surprising there. These aren't old comic books, not like the original Golden Age comic books. So hopefully they should be fine. I'm thinking it's just a little surprising because like we're only talking like 20 years here, and you can tell like the modern ones must be a good bit smaller. Definitely not as many pages. So, but they're way more expensive than these are. So it's a little surprising there. Nice little comparison. And okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our first one here. And we got, we got ourselves a giant size special X-Men. Boom chakalaka. Number 75. Let's see here. May. I'm guessing 1998. That's my guess here. Yep. May of 1998. Giant size X-Men. Boom chakalaka. And this one's got the big old wraparound cover there. Goes all the way around the back. Those are always pretty cool. So the only real downside is when they're in the back board, you never can see the backside. But you know, if you do pull it out, then you get a whole bunch of extra artwork there. Overall, this is in really good condition. The binding, the binding on the top part is a tiny bit worn. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape, surprisingly. So I'm pretty happy about that. Honestly, I'm grateful just to have my collection at all. Seriously, like you got no idea the stuff, you know, what I've been through and everything. So the fact that I have my collection all is a bona fide miracle. And the fact that these are in as good a condition as they are, for having not been bagged and boarded for the last 20 years, I'm pretty happy about it, to say the least. Oh, that looks, yeah, the cover on the backside, there is a spot that's a little bit worn. Oh, no, it's a little more than that. So, yeah, this isn't the best condition, but hey, at least I got the stories. That's the important thing at this point. Like I said, I don't collect just for, like, I don't collect for financial gain, period. If it's worth something, that's great. It's nice to have something in your collection that's, you know, worth a little something to pass down to your kids someday or something like that. I have no real intention of selling my collection anytime soon, if ever. Yeah, I buy comic books because I enjoy them. I enjoy reading them. I love the stories. I love the characters. That's why I got into them to begin with. That's why I'm into them now. Modern day comic books, man, there are so many people that they buy this stuff simply because they're hoping it's going to be worth money. And that's not what comic books are about. And yeah, so that's definitely part of the problem with modern comic books. But let's go ahead and get into the story here. I'm not going to read it cover to cover. I'm just going to skim through it, try to get a gist of it, and so we can, you know, see what's cool about the good, the bad, the ugly, compare it to more modern stuff and whatnot, and kind of catch up on the older days of comic books here. These aren't, like I said, these are not golden age. These are, I consider them to be modern comic books, but clearly comic book companies don't. At least when it comes to the supplies. Okay, so anatomy of a monster. Okay, so, well, oh, wait a minute, wait. Yep, in a previous House of G, yeah, I actually have the issue preceding this one. I remember now, because as you can see here, Wolverine's not too happy. He is none too happy, and he is looking for a maggot. And the reason why, in the previous issue, Maggot's little pet actually attacked Wolverine. Fortunately, he has the healing factor, so it didn't kill him or anything. But yeah, he's still not happy about this. Where is Maggot? So yeah, Hoodog is starting off with a bang already. Maggot is, well, let's see here. What is he doing? Yeah, so there's a little Maggot symbiote. They have some sort of symbiotic relationship. What? Okay, so he kicks one of the little maggot creatures, and apparently hurt his foot. Or when he kicked it, he felt the pain of the creature, because they do have a symbiotic relationship. So don't be surprised if he could actually feel some of their pain and stuff like that. Or he might have just hurt his foot. It's kind of confusing there. Doesn't really explain it that well. Yes, I think the authorities are looking out for somebody that's responsible for some of these bodies and stuff. Because I do believe they can be, the little maggot creatures can be lethal here when they're feeding. More, pretty much the rule, I think. Okay, so Wolverine does have his healing factor, which is why he's still alive. However, the maggots critters, something in what they did to him is actually inhibiting his healing factor, so he's not fully healing, he's still bleeding. So yeah, they're doing a number on him, that's for sure. So these creatures are pretty dangerous by the sounds of it. Actually, I'm not too crazy familiar. I actually don't know that much about the character Maggot. I know they brought these newer characters in. Honestly, I was never really a fan of this particular generation of mutants that they created. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to read these to get a full feel for them again. Especially in hindsight, 20 years later, 22 years later, 23 years later at this point. You're now in 2021. Doesn't feel like a completely different year just yet. But so yeah, there's a lot of back and forth dialogue. Oh, what is that? What? Okay, so some of the X-Men have caught up to Maggot. They're talking to him, and his little Maggot pets take off, and I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, without reading every single panel and everything. Yeah, just trying to get a gist of it. So the little maggot creatures, they die, they run off, they're like heading for a hole in the ground, or they're burrowing or something. Maggie himself is chasing after him, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got the next panel here. Whatever those things are, I got no idea. They just kind of popped up over nowhere. I don't think that's the same group of X-Men. I think these guys are actually back at the mansion, as far as I can tell. And whatever those things are, I got no idea. What? So that's one thing about Maggie. It's like they went with a horror vibe. They're trying to inject some horror into the comic books. Now, if they had done this in a different X-Men title, I mean, this is the main X-Men title. X-Men, they got a specific vibes, specific flavor and whatnot. Now, I can see how kind of doing like a horror type vibe could actually work, because we're talking about mutants here with all kinds of crazy abilities. So the concept itself would actually be pretty cool if they did it in the right medium. Injecting this into the main title, I think that was a mistake, because when I picked you pick up a title and you expect a certain type of story from it. You don't want the same thing over and over, but you do expect a certain vibe. And this was just really outside of the X-Men vibe for me. So I think that might be why I never really got into it. But in hindsight, if they had done a different done this type of story in a different title, I think it could have worked. Because in hindsight, there is some the whole like horror aspect. Like this character Maggot is definitely on the horror side, along with you got Morrow. I mean, there's some pretty creepy abilities, and it's just not the main title. It just doesn't belong there, in my opinion. So yeah, if they had done this in a different X-Men title that was more fitting of the type of story, I think it could have worked. I really do. I don't know, but it is what it is at this point. 22 years old, nothing. It's, yeah, yeah. So it is what it is at this point. So, what is going on? I don't know. All of a sudden, so you got the maggot thing going on, but then you got these guys. What? Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. So it's got something to do with one of the other mutants, new generation of mutants. I guess it's got something to do with that. So apparently it doesn't really have anything to do with Maggot. So we got two different stories going. I don't know if they're gonna merge those two stories together at some point, or if they're completely different. Connected by the fact that both characters are new generation of X-Men. What? Oh my lord, I'm just confused. What is going on? What? Okay, so apparently they didn't just burrow a hole in the ground. Apparently they went through a hole between dimensions, between realities. Because that's what it's talking about there on that top panel up there. And then, yeah, some sort of hole between dimensions. And apparently that does have something to do with those creatures. Like I said, I don't know if they're directly connected to Maggot's critters, but like I said, I'm not reading it panel for panel or anything like that. And there's a lot of going on in this one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would definitely have to sit down and read this to get a better idea for it. Yeah, it kind of makes me want to read it so I can get a better understanding of it. May or may not. I would have to find the time to sit down and actually read this stuff cover to cover, which I would not complain about. That would actually be quite fun for me, at least. I just don't know if I have the time right now, which is why this stream is awesome. It's fun. I at least get to go through the stuff and take a look at it. Yeah, so it's just fighting against these interdimensional creatures. Maggot is there, but I'm not seeing his little symbiote fellers. I don't know. I got no freaking clue if there's a connection between them or not. Well, I don't have a clue. I do not have a clue. Without reading this, yeah, they're fighting some interdimensional creatures. I'm not. Finally, Maggot's little symbiotic creatures pop up, but I'm not really sure what to do in there. And then boom, then there's this big old boom, and it's actually outside of a casino. Whatever, the battle concludes, a big old boom, and they all find themselves outside of this casino. No sign of this other dimensional world or the creatures. So yeah, there's some serious juju going on with these new characters and everything. It's definitely got like a horror vibe to it. Like not just dark and evil, but just like, the horror vibe, which it just doesn't quite fit with this series. Now, I think this is supposed to be one of those interdimensional alien creatures things. And if you take a look at Maggot's critters, there is a resemblance. They got the red eyes and the same colored skin and everything, kind of scaly or plated almost. So it makes me wonder if there's a connection, because let's see. Yeah, this chick right here, I think she's responsible for these creatures being attracted to our reality or something like that, the X-Men's reality. But then maybe there's some connection here. I don't know. It's Well, I don't think we're going to get too much information about that from this particular issue. So, yeah, a lot of questions after breezing through this one. Even after I read it, I don't think I'm still going to get a whole lot more in terms of answers. But it's kind of intriguing. So, yeah, I think it's time to put this puppy to bed for now. Let's go and do that. Gotta get the bag and the board, get her ready for storage. All right. Here we go. Yeah, there's just something about this. It's therapeutic. It's soothing. It's kind of exciting. It's exciting in its own way. You're protecting your collection, your investment. I buy these for enjoyment. That's why I buy them. At the same time, I'm not stupid. They are an investment. There is a possibility they could be worth something financially. Plus, just being a fan of them, I want them to last as long as possible so I can enjoy them for as long as possible. Nothing in this world lasts forever. That's just a stone cold fact of life. But it doesn't mean you don't make the attempt to take care of it so it will last for as long as possible, regardless of your motivation for buying it in the first place. Boom, chakalaka. I know some people like to tape the flaps. I don't like doing that because then you got the sticky stuff, the residue, which can transfer over to the comic books if you get your fingers on it. So I just do the little foldy thing. Yeah, just fold it in the top there. Boom, chakalaka. There you go, X-Men number 75, May of 1998, giant size special. Hoo doggy. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this puppy to bed there. And there she goes. Oh my gosh, this is just so much fun. It's all part of the fun of, being a comic book collector there. Okay, now maybe this one might provide some answers here, because this is actually X-Men number 76, the tragic origin of Maggot. Now, if you haven't figured out, this is actually a stealth cover. As you can see, it provides some invisibility cloaking for me. No, I'm just kidding. That's just a very green cover. June of 1998. This takes place immediately after the one we just went through. And, let's see if we can get some answers here regarding this character. Honestly, he's an odd character, to say the least. He's very tormented. Definitely tormented. Well, all right, so yeah, just starting off with typical drama dialogue and everything. Hold on. Yeah, one of the problems I had with this generation of mutants, they had some very strange, okay, I get it. They're X-Men, they're mutants. They're by their nature, they have crazy abilities and whatnot. These new generations, they just had weird abilities. Like I said, this is definitely more of a horror style vibe. That's just not X-Men. X-Men isn't about horror. It's about fantastic stuff, uncanny stuff, astonishing stuff. This is not meant to be a horror title. So that's why they really should have gone with a different title to, introduce these characters and whatnot. The horror aspect is an interesting one. I definitely think it could work on its own, in its own series and format and everything. So that's why I just never really, I just didn't really connect with them in this title, because that's not what the original one was about. If they had gotten their own deal and everything, I think they could have made it work. I really do. It's just, I'm not sure why they shoehorned it into the main title like that. So yeah, let's see here. So we start off. Maggot's just kind of hanging out by himself. He's hiding from everybody. Not sure why he doesn't. Wolverine he's able to track him down. He's got that famous Wolverine sniffer there. That must be a blessing and a curse. The stuff that I can smell sometimes with my regular senses. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine what it must be like for Wolverine. So even though Maggot's critters went after Wolverine, Wolverine was not happy, no doubt about that. Wolverine is still taking the time to talk to the guy, try to understand him, get it, figure out what's going on with him. Is he a threat? Is it something else? Wolverine's going that extra mile trying to figure this guy out. He doesn't trust him, but he's not like eviscerating him or nothing like that. And so they're actually having a conversation about where Maggot comes from. As you know, Storm came from Africa. Well, so does Maggot. His character comes from Africa. And let's see here. Yeah, a lot of filler dialogue and whatnot. Okay, something happened. Huh? So he's from Africa, and something about the apartheid that happened in that time frame. So they're having a rough time of it, whatnot. Okay, so apparently there's something wrong with him. So his mother made a prayer about sparing. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, they're getting a bit political here, which was just like, no, don't do it. Don't get political. But they did. I don't know. So something he decides to like basically drive off because like there's something wrong with him or something, and he drives off into the desert. But he doesn't know his brother's in the back of the Jeep, so that's what's going on there. That took us a second to figure that out. Yeah, just so much dialogue. I'm not trying to read everything. And then, so him and his brother get lost out there in the desert. Oh. Okay. That's a surprise. So him and his brother are lost in the desert, and then boom, up comes Magneto. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Somehow Magneto stumbles across these two kids in the middle of the desert in Africa. Curious indeed. And yeah, so Magneto's surprised that there are a couple of kids out in the middle of the desert like that. Okay, so he does something for the kid that becomes Maggot. I don't know how. Oh, what? Honestly, this is a little disturbing right here. Especially the placement. I really think they could have done a better job with the placement there. What? I'll show you here in a second. This is just, I'm trying to make sense of it. So, I didn't pay that much of attention to it back in the day when I first bought it. It's just like, because it's just so like, and I read the dialogue, took in the artwork, and moved on. Now in hindsight, especially with a lot of stuff going on, it's a little weird. It's a little on the weird side, even for this character. So, hold on. So yeah, so Magneto's doing something to him. I got no idea. He's the master of magnetism. So I don't know what magnetism has got to do with this kid's physical ailments and whatnot. The kid's suffering, he's in pain or something, sick, something. All of a sudden, Magneto becomes a doctor. Like magnetism. It's magnetism. Specifically dealing with metal, stuff like that, stuff that's actually magnetic. Our bodies do generate an electromagnetic field and whatnot, but there are limitations to that. Okay, so somehow you magnetically stop the kid from feeling pain, at least from time being. Which I'm as a certified biologist, I'm trying to think about as far as like nerve ending stuff like that. I'm trying to think if that's even plausible. It's like because maybe because the way nerves. Well, yeah, because the way stuff travels along the nerve system, something like that. Maybe because there are ionized particles. Was it calcium, sodium? I don't know, but there's so much stuff going on in the human body. You got no idea. They are ionized though, so ionized means that they have a charge. Maybe it's plausible. Maybe it's plausible if he can manipulate those metabolic elements regarding the nervous system. Maybe that might be plausible. It might actually be plausible. I would have to do some research, brush up on my nervous system and everything to really be more confident in that conclusion. But it might be possible. It might actually be possible now. But then here's where it really gets weird. So then he helps the kid. He helps to ease the kid's pain by deadening his nerves. But then boom, these creatures pop out. Which, knowing the character at this point, that part's not surprising. What is weird though is the placement of where the critters are coming. I mean, if you look very closely, look at where they're coming out. That is a very extremely odd placement. Because I always thought that these creatures were supposed to come out of his abdomen, like the torso area. But if you look at this, it's that's way low. That is coming out at a very low location. It's a little weird. They did not have to draw it that way. They could have drawn it in a way that was much less disturbing in that manner. I'm not just talking about disturbing from a horror standpoint. Disturbing from a purely, it's a kid, first of all. And that location, that's not coming. Let me put it to you this way: it's not coming out of his torso. It's not coming out of his abdomen. It's coming out below the abdomen there. I don't think I caught that before 22 years ago. I'm catching that now, and all of a sudden, yeah, I'm really disturbed with the artwork on that particular panel. Who drew this? Kelly, Broom, and Parsons are on the cover. Which one's the artist? Guest penciler Matt Broom. So yeah, the artist was Matt Broom. The name's not, and he was a guest artist. The name's not ringing a bell. I might have to do a little bit of investigating there, because that did not need to be drawn that way. Honestly, looking at it now, especially with all the stuff going on nowadays, it's a little disturbing. And not from a horror aspect, just plain old disturbing. Oh my goodness. It's amazing the stuff that has popped out from these comic books that after 20, 22, 25 years, just going back to them. Some of the stuff is just like surprising. Like, you expect it nowadays? This stuff's gonna be going on a long time. We're talking decades at this point. That goes beyond horror into a different realm that's far more disturbing than any horror can ever be. Let's just put it that way and leave it at that for the time being. Anyway, so yeah, somehow, I don't know how, for some reason, Magneto has the ability to pull his characters out of the kid's body. Apparently, this is the first time they've been able to. It's basically these creatures being born at this point. I don't know. that part always was weird to me. Like Magneto is actually basically being a midwife. It was just weird. It was just weird, to be honest. It's still weird. To this day, it's still weird. Well, I don't know. Because I don't remember ever getting an explanation for these creatures. They created this character with these creatures, never really gave a satisfactory explanation for what they were, and this is supposed to be the origin. This issue is specifically supposed to be the origin of Maggot, origin of this character, and it does provide some answers, but the big answers that I'm looking for personally, so far I'm not getting them. There's only a few pages left, so I don't know if it's gonna. Let's go ahead and keep going here because I don't know. And I don't remember, like, I remember having this issue back in the day, reading it. I just don't remember a lot of details and whatnot. I don't remember having a satisfactory response to this origin because it didn't explain everything. So apparently the boy's father is down in... Okay. I don't know. Magneto takes him down... Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. So I think he's taking them home. And then... I don't know. He's taking them home, but then there's the city, which I don't remember their home being in a city, but apparently was, or near a city, maybe. Okay. No, they're outside of the city. They are outside of the city. Magneto flies the kid to the city. Apparently his father's down there in that mess. So Magneto's like, do you want me to save your father? By any means necessary. And you know what that means. Boom. He does this thing. Basically just goes on a massacre to save the kid's father and everything. Okay, that's a little starting right there. Okay, so you got a race fist. But in this context, it's actually the kid who is Maggot. He's like, the worst part is some of them insured. So in this case, in this context, it is depicted as a negative thing, which, yeah, I gotta agree with him on that. Yeah, this is a little bit on the political side, which that's one of the things I wasn't happy about. Yeah, even 20 years ago, they were still injecting modern world politics, which is not what you want to do. It's just not. Not unless you're doing it. Not unless you're purposely trying to do political comic book or magazine or something like that. Yeah, it was just a little too much real world politics in that one. Okay, Okay, wait a minute. Okay, see, I did forget something. Yeah, it's a very strange mutant ability that he has, so it does actually explain it a bit more. So, Maggot is actually, he's full on confiding in Wolverine at this point. And these little critters, these maggot creatures, yeah, he reveals that he can't eat food like a normal person, even a normal, like a relatively normal mutant. These little maggot creatures are actually his digestive system, so they have to leave his body, eat whatever it is they're going to eat, and then reintegrate themselves into his internal digestive system. It's almost like a parasitic symbiotic relationship. It's an extremely strange mutant power. I mean, they literally, for some reason, he doesn't have like a biological, what do you put it, like a egress for the, just a natural like tunnel. Like you got kangaroos, they got the pouches and everything. He doesn't have, for some reason, he has these maggot creatures in a symbiotic relationship, but he doesn't have like a natural physiological entrance or exit for these creatures to go in and out of. They literally have to burrow into his into his body. Part of his mutant powers is that the damage they cause is immediately healed, but it does hurt him. So his life is basically just torment day after day. Which okay, so yeah, so I always got the sense that this character, they created him to be tormented, and yeah, so this so far, this is definitely explaining his torment, and I mean, without a doubt, in and of itself, he is a tragic character there, just because his entire existence, that's pretty horrific, honestly. Just getting that much information, I mean, that's just horrific. That's what I'm saying, it doesn't quite fit with this title. If they'd given these particular characters a different sort of title, like they were doing the New Mutants movie, I haven't seen it. I don't even know if it was released or not. I've heard it's actually pretty bad. It was an interesting concept. Poor execution. Same thing, interesting concept. If they'd executed it differently, given them their own title or something like that, I think they could have made it work. I think it could have been interesting. It just doesn't fit with the normal X-Men. And so without a doubt, and even with all that he's divulged to Wolverine, there's still more to his story that he hasn't talked about. And Wolverine's like, he's like, hey, it's all right, we'll get there, So Wolverine, at this point, he is trying to be supportive of the kid, and I think Wolverine now believes that the kid is not, in fact, like this crazy psycho. It's just the reality of his mutant abilities and whatnot. Apparently, he doesn't have complete control over those creatures, which is weird. So they're part parasite, part symbiote, because apparently he cannot survive without them, which in and of itself does have a, well, see, I'm wondering where they got the idea for this character, because that in and of itself does kind of have a loose basis in real biological science. If you know what mitochondria are these tiny little organelles that exist within our cells. They are the powerhouse of your entire body. Tiny, I mean, microscopic. They're called organelles. They're freaking tiny as all get out. But they proliferate within your individual cells. And they are the powerhouse. They produce the energy that our bodies need on a macro level to be able to exist. Without them, we cannot exist in this form. Ow. Finally got a new desk. It's beautiful. But, it's still possible to, like, bang your own. Anyway, so, yeah, the organelles, the mitochondria, they produce the energy that our bodies need to be able to function and to just live. Our body, you would be surprised how much energy our body produces and consumes every single day. These things are almost like part mitochondria in a way, because he can't eat. He doesn't have a normal digestive system. These creatures are the primary vehicle of his digestive system, but at the same time, they also seem to function like giant mitochondria. They leave his body, they feed, and then they take whatever they eat and turn it into energy, and then they go back into his body and they transfer that energy directly into his body. So they function like parasites, and they also function like macro-sized mitochondria, which in and of itself is a little terrifying. Makes me very grateful for the mitochondria we actually have. So I'm actually wondering if whoever created this character actually had like a basic understanding, at least, of you know, like college level biology and everything. Because that's, I mean, you learn about mitochondria in high school and whatnot, but the entire metabolic process is so complex. High school doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. I mean, Jiminy Cricket. It was one rabbit hole after another. I was like, how much deeper can this thing go? This can't be the extent. And then, oh my gosh, it's just one rabbit hole after another in terms of science. So I'm wondering if the creator of this character actually had a decent grasp of advanced biology, because it actually does make some sense from like a scientific standpoint there. Curious. So mixed feelings about the character still. That one panel of the kid was running into Magneto, that was a little on the weird side. They didn't have to draw it that way. Not sure why they decided on that image, but yeah, the character himself is on the interesting side, at least to some extent, at least. I don't know, but this, I'll be honest, this cover's on the weird side too. Like his health stance and everything, that's a little weird. Just the way he's standing there and stuff like that. The way they drew him, like, okay, I understand the emotion they're trying to get across, but I mean, it's just weird. He's got no shirt, very long torso. The pants are just like on the verge of falling down. There's just something weird about this cover. The cover's weird, and then that one panel where the maggots are coming out for the first time, that was weird. With stuff going on nowadays, makes me wonder. I don't. Was it Matt Broom, guest penciler? Never heard of him. Bob Harris was the chief. I don't know. I have to do a little research there. A couple of weird aspects about the artwork, and then I don't know. Definitely, in some aspects, an interesting character. Absolutely tragic. No argument there. I just don't feel like it was the right title for these characters. I really think they should have, even in New Mutants or X Factor, X Force, something like that. I don't know, but not the main X-Men title. I don't really. I just, even after 20 years, I don't feel like it belonged in this title. So I don't know. Not really sure what exactly they were going for in this era of X-Men. It's definitely different, to say the least. Alright, Boom Shakalaka. Alright, let's get this baby. Let's get this baby boarded. Yeah, you just get the binding side corner in there. Boom, slides in like butter. And if you have the board up a little bit, that actually does make it a little bit easier. You slide it in with the board, and it just boom right in. There we go. Let's get that flap down. All right, X-Men number 76, June of 1998. Tragic origin of Maggot. A very odd character, to say the least. All right, let's go ahead and get her into storage, and boom. There we go. Protected and ready for the next generation of comic book readers, especially considering the modern state of comic books. Okay, so we got our next issue here. This one's a little bit, the top part got some sort of dent crease. The back is not so good. Oh well, no, that's life. Yeah, that's just life. Like I said, I'm grateful just to have my collection. But surprise, surprise, we got ourselves another Thunderbolts. Yeah, if you haven't been able to figure out, yeah, I was definitely a fan of the Thunderbolts back in the day. I remember enjoying them and everything. I'm a little surprised at how many issues I've got right now, going through this one stack and everything. But yeah, I was definitely a fan of the Thunderbolts. And once again, we got the magic cover there. See, now you see me. Now you don't. Where'd Rebel go? Oh, wait, there he is. There he is. Oh, no, he's disappearing again. It must be some sort of time warp, alternate dimension reality type thing. Oh, there is. It's not even green. It's a light blue. I'm a little surprised at how much that's disappearing there. If you like that, okay, there you go. There you can see it. But then you go like that, and it just disappears. It vanishes. That is so cool. I mean, that's some cool stuff right there. That's fascinating. It's gotta have something to do with the light frequency, like because I got marine lights. The lights come down, boom. Now from this angle, it looks like the light frequency is just enough on that green side to where it blends in with the green screen. But you go like this, and it actually changes the light frequency bouncing off the ink and everything, so that it actually comes off as blue, which is not green. Let's see, what is it? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, yellow, green, blue. Yeah, so yellow and blue make green. But from this angle, it's blue. It's mostly blue. So, but if you like this, apparently it pushes it enough into like the yellow spectrum to have it respond as if it was green. That's pretty cool stuff. That's some science right there. This is cool stuff. That's not even the comic book itself. That's just like the ink, the coloring. That's just cool stuff. Oh, that's right. So the last one we went over, they were actually in space for some reason. So in this one, June of 1998, issue number 15 of the Thunderbolts. Welcome back to Earth, T-Bolts. You're busted. So in this one, they actually make it back to Earth. Let's go ahead and see exactly. I cannot remember which number that was. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so starting off with, yeah, it looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. Who is that? What? Who is this? Oh, Commander. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that character. So, okay, so we're on a shield carrier or something like that. Yeah, this guy's talking about, I guess his name is Commander Bridge. From there, he looks like a black Nick Fury in profile, and the next page it shows him full on. He's definitely got a Nick vibe to him, Nick Fury vibe to him. He's talking about the 6 known villains and a teenage girl. So, yeah, that just kind of emphasizes the fact that these Thunderbolts have a shady past. The teenage girl is new to the superhero business, but she's legitimately, she's a hero type. She's not a villain type. She's completely new to all this. She thought these guys the Thunderbolts were all heroes. She didn't know about their shady background in the beginning. Now I think at this point she does know about them. But she hasn't like turned on them exactly. She's still, I think maybe she was trying to give him a chance. Yeah, I think at some point she was all like, yeah, I think they're sincerely trying to turn over a new leaf and whatnot. Let's see here. So the Thunderbolts are back on Earth. Looks like they are wanted. They're out in the woods in the wilderness. They have the campfire going, trying to, just feed themselves, just survive another day. And we got the team dialogue going on, trying to figure out what to do. You gotta love these comic book ads. Comic book ads were always just fun, even if it was for something that no kid is gonna care about. Power, something about MasterCard, Spider-Man MasterCard. Come on, really? What? As a kid, I didn't even know what a credit card was. Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, I knew what they were. I just didn't understand them. The important, how much trouble they can get you in. I didn't even know what credit was. Back, well, okay, 22 years ago. Okay, I was an adult by then, but I mean, come on. Yeah, at the point this came out, I was an adult, so yeah, I understood credit cards by then. As a kid, a lot of kids read this stuff. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna. What? I don't know, man. It's interesting some of the ads that they put in these things. Jiminy Cricket. Okay, so the T-Bolts, they're just what's going on? Not 100% sure. Okay, I think they're getting burgers. Somebody gets punched through a door. Yeah, okay, so I think at this point, they made it back to civilization, and they're just trying to blend in and everything. Disappear off the radar and everything. Keep their locations in. There are people looking for them, including, it looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, what is this? Okay, so we got this character. Yeah, his name's Techno. He was in one of the previous Thunderbolt issues. He's connected with Zemo. Zemo had the Thunderbolts under his thumb there for a little bit. Apparently he's like a Mr. Sinister knockoff or something. He's doing some sort of genetic manipulation or something. Some sort of biology-based enhancements or something. Wait a minute, what? Oh, well, wait a minute. Yeah, he's definitely Mr. Sinister ripoff. Oh, okay. So what he's doing? Yeah, he's definitely Mr. Sinister ripoff. So Techno has a technology-based body at this point. I don't know if it was intentional, accidental, whatever. But he wants himself a real body again. So he wants to be able to transfer his consciousness into an actual flesh and blood human body. So he decided to take Baron Zumbo's face. Since, as Techno put it, since you're not using Zumbo's like, nope, not having it. I don't know why Techno thought that would be a good idea. But yeah, Zumbo's like, you're not making a clone with my face, so I'm sorry. Not happening, buddy. Oh my goodness. For such a smart guy, it's like, really? Did you really think that was a good idea? It reminds me of way too many people on Twitter, let me tell you. So then, yeah. So Techno, he decides he's thinking maybe Kevin Costner might be a better choice for a face. Nice little bit of humor they threw in there. That was actually pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so okay, well, I kind of hard to say, but it looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. caught up to the Thunderbolts or something, and then we got these Mandroids, which I don't know where I don't think they're S.H.I.E.L.D. as far as I know. Maybe they are. I don't know. Big old battle ensues. Boom, boom, boom. They're destroying those Mandroid things while fighting Shield. They don't want to hurt Shield. They just, they're just fighting for their survival and everything. I don't know the Mandroids. Are those men in power armor? I'm not completely... I don't know. I'm not familiar with these Mandroid. Okay, so it is dudes in a power armor is what they are. Yeah, so she rips the helmet off. There's a guy inside. So I don't know if these guys are Shield or come for something else. I don't remember ever seeing these anywhere else. Wait. This just got... Okay. I got mixed feelings on this next panel. Mixed feelings here. I'll show you here in just a hot second. So if I remember correctly... I'm trying to... wait, what? Wait a minute, I thought that was West Coast Avengers. Okay, well they're fighting here, and I think they escape. Yeah, they lose the Shield team and everything. They think they're home free, but then boom, these guys show up. Now I thought that was West Coast Avengers there for a second, but they're calling themselves the Lightning Rods. Yeah, so these guys are called the Lightning Rods. Yeah, I almost thought that they were the West Coast Avengers there for a second. It's been a while. Yeah, lightning rods. So yeah, thunder, lightning, thunderbolts, and then lightning rods. Okay, so this is so you got this really flat guy. He's like a cross between Mr. Fantastic and I don't know. I guess Plastic Man. It's obviously it's a Mr. Fantastic ripoff. You got this blob chick. She's obviously a ripoff of a Blob, and then that looks like some cosmic version of Spider-Man. I'm not sure who he's supposed to be, and then some pink pterodactyl chick, alien pterodactyl person. I don't know. They look familiar, but I don't remember the lightning rods, and they're obviously just rip-offs of other like actual famous popular characters. So I'm not sure if they just did that for pure comedy satire for this, because the Thunderbolts are an offbeat team and whatnot, and so it wouldn't surprise me if they just went pure satire on that. Who are the lightning rods? They have the Mr. Eye guy. I don't know what the eye is supposed to stand for. But he's talking about sewing with your heinous axe, so I think they're supposed to be a superhero team. I don't know. I would have to pick up the next... hopefully I've got the next issue in my collection here, so I can find out what they're about. I just don't know. At this point, I just don't know. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's just hilarious. Nothing else. At least it's funny. Hopefully I've got the next issue. I really hope I do. That would be hilarious. Yeah, it's obvious. They're obviously just straight up rip-offs of popular characters. But within the Marvel universe, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if there was satire. It's purely meant to be satire and parody on those characters, or if this is an indicator of what was coming down the road in modern comic books, where they're just straight up ripping off their own characters. At this point, I'm inclined to think it was just pretty much just meant to be satire and parody, because with the nature of the Thunderbolts and everything, I think it was just meant to be satire of Marvel characters, just to throw them in there and possibly throw away characters. It's like, hey, let's just have fun with it. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. Going through this after 20 years. With any luck, I've got Thunderbolts number 16 in the pile there, and if I do, maybe we'll be able to get some more answers and whatnot. Let's see how that plays out. Oh my goodness. So there you have it, Thunderbolts number 15. was it June of 1998. Welcome back to Earth. You're busted. I was going to get this puppy back and boarded. Not the best condition, not the worst condition though. Somewhere in between. If it wasn't for the back cover, I would say in pretty good condition. But that back cover is kind of something maybe just good condition at this point. But hey, the important thing is the story. Being able to read it, get some enjoyment out of it, have fun with it. That is the heart of comic books, which is pretty much dead and buried in the modern comic book. Except for independent comic books. Independent comic books, there might be some hope there. I'm still diving into it a little bit. Got some stuff coming at some point this year through the what do you call it? I don't know, Indiegogo and the other one. I'm blanking there because I'm not as familiar with them. Bag and board. Where you at, bag and board? Alright, so we got a bag and board here. Yeah, so, yeah, back in the day when comic books were actually fun. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to try this here with the slight change. I got the bag up, the bag in there most of the way. Slide the corner with the binding. Right there. Okay, there we go. Boom. And the whole thing just slides right in. Smooth as butter. There you go. Yep, let's get that flap down. Boom. Chakalaka. And there you have it. Got our Thunderbolts bagged and board ready for storage. Ooh, doggy. Yeah, if you can't tell by now, I was a fan of them back in. Okay, and then now we have, let's see here. Okay, so this was an interesting one. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Went ahead, looked it up, has something to do with alternate reality being, or, well, maybe another dimension being, some sort of portal being opened up. And then these creatures came through. Supposedly there was some connection to humanity. I don't remember a whole lot about it. But here we have the Ascension. This one is number 5 from Image Comics. Where is the... Yep, you guessed it, 1998. Yeah, this particular stack is from that time frame, 96, 98, 99. I don't know. So we got, yeah, Ascension from Chakalaka. Yeah, I honestly don't remember a whole lot about this character, about this title. I know I got a few of them. So let's go ahead and take a look here. And it's got something to do with human beings. These beings coming into our reality. There are a couple of human beings or something that have, I don't know, these two different other races. Somehow they cause these two human beings to transform into versions of these other races or something like that. And there's some mystery about, there's some connection between all three. And I don't know. But here, yeah, I think these are... So here's a big old panel here. So, okay. So we got the dude. I think these are the two main characters there in the middle. And they're actually, I think they're supposed to be humans and they transform somehow into these other races. The one dude's got the wings. It looks like kind of angelic. Wait a minute. Actually, yeah, it's not too surprising there. Maybe they're not the main characters. I'm not sure. It's been so long. No, wait, they're not the main characters. I think, okay, I think those two are the main characters. I think. And these are whoever they are. Maybe, possibly. Because the dude there in the middle, up, his wings are kind of leathery, kind of demonic looking. But then this guy's wings are angelic looking. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to read this to really get a full feel for it. Figure out what exactly was going on there. Well, let's see here. But yeah, the one guy, yeah, they're the blonde chick and the other dude, they're definitely prisoner. They've done something to them. Okay, so it looks like... Okay. So... yeah, so it's cutting away to another scene. You got, yeah, these beings. They definitely look like angels. They got an angel vibe to them. They got wings that, you look like your typical angel wings. But they also have dark eyes. But they have black eyes, so it's a little weird. They look angelic except for their eyes. Then the other ones look like they have like eyes. So apparently, maybe the visuals are meant to be, one is supposed to look angelic, one is supposed to look demonic. But even though they're supposed to, I would have to read this to get a full feel for it. But they're two separate, two different species, races, and they have some connection to humanity on a genetic level. So I know that much about the series. I think I got an idea where they got the inspiration from, and it is the concept's interesting. I just don't remember how they executed it, so that's the thing. They're trying to persuade these two. I don't know if they're just trying to persuade them to join them or what's going on. Her people? I don't know. So yeah, they're holding a prisoner, interrogating him. They're like, all right, time has passed. You need to do what we want you to do. And the girl's all like, I'm not going to betray my people. Even though I think she was supposed to be human originally. They're trying to start a war or something. These demonic looking type beings. And then there's some sort of council meeting with the angelic looking ones. And yeah, they're talking about some sort of prophecies. Yep, that's funky looking. Yeah, so they're talking about preparing for battle. War's about to begin. They're flying out of this weird and twisted tower. Now that one right there is definitely looking funky right there. I don't know. It is interesting. I would have to read it fully to get a full feel for it. So far, it's interesting. Yep. Okay. So yeah, we got an ad for another future issue of Ascension number 6, and it is talking about this being bringing hell to Earth. So there's definitely an angel army, devil army, demon army type vibe to it. So it's probably what it's based on to some extent. So in that regard, it is interesting to me. Which is part of why, well, I'm not going to lie. That right there is a pretty big part of why I picked up the comic book. They do not draw them like that anymore. Let me tell you. That definitely caught my attention, let me tell you. And I did buy more than one issue, so I think I was interested in the story and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of drama, interpersonal drama going on. And so, yeah, this is the final panel for this issue. Some big battle. The dude down there, he's like, what have you done? So, yeah, apparently a war has just been started. And what appear to be clearly good versus evil. It's actually, just breezing through this, it's actually on the interesting side. I don't remember a lot about it, but this is a Top Cow Image comic book. So it's more on the independent side and everything. But so far, I am finding it interesting. It didn't last long. I think it lasted for like 2 or 3 years or something like that, maybe. but I'm actually curious to read some more to find out exactly what was going on with this series. Because yeah, so far, at least on the surface, it's your classic battle of good versus evil, and they really tap into a lot of spiritual concepts and everything. So that actually does interest me, and it gets my attention. That's besides the fact that the artwork is, well, let's just say pretty nice there. Yeah, that beats the vast majority of the modern artwork right now, hands down, in leaps and spades. Yeah, I like that. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sit here and be apologetic for it. I like the artwork. Period. End of story. Full stop. So, who doggy? It's not in the worst condition, but it's definitely not. I wouldn't say near mint. There's a crease on the one side. If you go on the back, the corner is a little creased. I'd say it's in pretty good condition. It's not near mint, unfortunately, but it is in pretty good condition. Besides that, I mean, it's flat. The cover's not too. The colors aren't all that compromised or anything. All things considered, it's in pretty good condition, considering what's been through. So can't complain too much. Definitely readable. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this bagged and boarded into storage here. All right, there we go. It's bags and boards ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Slide that puppy in. Boom, chakalaka. Oh, let's go a little bit more there. There we go. I think that might be the optimal. There we go. Yep, just take the corner of the binding, slide it in nice and easy, and then the rest just goes in like butter. Boom, shakalaka. Who doesn't like butter? Now I mean the real butter. All right. Ascension number 5, 1998. Boom, shakalaka. There you go. Bagged and boarded, ready to go. Interesting story, interesting concept. I don't know. I'm actually kind of interested in checking out more of it. So I know I've got a few more issues. We'll definitely get into those. And, well, considering the state of modern comic books, I have decided that if I do continue, get back into purchasing and collecting comic books, I'm going to be doing back issues. I'm not doing this. The modern stuff is just hot trash. It's a hot mess at this point. So I'm going to stick with the back stuff, the good stuff. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I still enjoy comic books, even though I stopped buying them around 2012, 2013. I still enjoy them. They're still fun. Interesting characters, interesting stories, interesting concepts. What if this, that, and the other. Entertaining. Some of the stuff's just funny, as you saw with the Thunderbolts issue we just did. Yeah, the old school stuff is where it's at least for me. So that's where I'm at. If I do start purchasing stuff, it's definitely going to be some of the back issue stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get this baby into storage. Boom, shakalaka, and there we go. All right, yeah, that's looking nice. The box is slowly getting fuller. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice sight. It's fun. It's exciting. Oh my gosh, yeah. This isn't my main channel. If it was, I would definitely do more of this, and I wish I could. But I gotta work with what I got right now. But I do have to say, this House of G series is very, very fun for me. Very much enjoy it. It's a lot of fun going through the old stuff, the old stories, the old characters. It's like night and day, even from just 22 years ago. It's like night and day with the modern stuff. Now there are definitely some connections. Oh my gosh, even 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't immune to this stuff. It's been around a long time. But they've just finally gotten to the point where they've just completely taken over, hijacked everything, and just run the entire industry right into the ground, which is unfortunate to say the least. But with the back issue stuff, the actual physical medium that you can buy and keep and collect, that's why they're trying to go all digital, so you can't do that. The stuff, it's still out there. The good stuff is still out there. And it is very much, if you're into comic books, like legitimately into comic books, not just looking to make a quick buck, if you enjoy reading them and whatnot, back issues is where it's at. And who knows if and when the comic book industry is going to pull its head out of its arse and turn things around. I got no freaking clue. It is possible. I just don't know if and when it's going to happen. In the meantime, we got the back issues. We got the old stuff, the good stuff. I'm definitely thinking about it. Got to figure it out. You know, it does cost money, which is a little tight right now for obvious reasons. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna look into it at least. It's just fun. I'm having fun. It's been fun, like legitimate fun has been in such short supply in the last few years. Every time something new comes out, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what's gonna finally be worth the time and the money. At best, it's mediocre. It's just amazing how much this stuff has potential. So much of the stuff that they're putting out nowadays, it has potential, but they butcher it and they don't fulfill that potential. It's incredible to witness it, to live through it. Oh my goodness, what have we come to? I'm going through this stuff in my collection from 20, 30 years ago. It's so much better. So much better. Even then, there's a bit of missed opportunity there and whatnot, but not on the scale that it is today. It's still enjoyable. This stuff is still enjoyable. The modern stuff, man. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Jiminy Cricket. I believe it's going to turn around at some point. The creative people. They still exist, but they're shunned and they're prevented from actually creating quality stuff. But they still exist. They're still out there. We just need the modern. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. It's still possible to have fun with this stuff. That's the important thing. That's the key thing here. All right. So with that said, I think that's going to wrap up this House of G. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Oh my goodness, this is fun. I'm having fun here, folks. And with what's going on, especially in the last week, over the weekend and everything, man, I needed to have some fun. Oh my gosh, I need to have fun so bad. Yeah, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about at this point. If you understand what's going on right now, you know what I'm talking about. This is wow. So yeah, you gotta find your fun where you can. You gotta find those break points where you can. Find that joy where you can, even when the entire world is just lost its freaking mind. Let me put it to you that way. So, doggy. All right, this has been another House of G. Hope you have a great Monday. I hope you have a great week, despite everything that's going on. Just gotta have faith. Keep hope alive. And yeah, with that, I will let you go. You have yourself a great one. Boom chakalaka.